Now on CoastTV News.
Capitol chaos remembered. A look at the infamous date in American history and the role two Sussex County men played in the riot. Plus, housing hold hesitation after exploring options on controlling development, why Millsboro's town council is putting a pause on its plans.
Despite mostly cloudy skies, temperatures are rising into the 50s at this hour, tracking even milder air over the next few days and when our next chance of rain rolls in.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Tuesday, January 6th. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. New this morning, Ocean City Council considering capping new short-term rental licenses, but still phasing out new licenses entirely after the cap. And that's a new option as the town weighs how to regulate places like Airbnbs. Previously, the town had discussed a cap, but without a phase out. That option is one of three other ideas still on the table. The second is having existing rental licenses expire when a property is sold or not renewed. And the third would freeze the current number of licenses, preventing any new ones from being issued. No date yet on when this would happen. Now the future of this piece of open land in Sussex County is up for debate. Farms LLC looking to change the land's current zoning from agriculture residential to heavy industrial. According to county documents, the properties are located between the Milton-Ellendale Highway and Gravel Hill Road. Those in favor of the project say jobs are very important to the community and believes that if this application is approved, it will bring jobs to the area. But we spoke with someone who lives in the development across the street from the property and is the president of the HOA, who says people in the development have safety and health concerns.
We're all on wells in Pemberton, as a number of the other communities are here as well. So we don't know what kind of runoff there'll be from the buildings. We have children in the neighborhood that the school bus drops them off at our entrance. And if you look at the Reed map, the way they propose to develop the property, they want to have a traffic light and they want to have an entrance into their property directly across the street from ours.
The public hearing for this property will be held today at 1:30. Now an update to a story that we brought you on Monday. Millsboro officials gathering to discuss a possible pause on residential building applications for the next 6 months. And according to officials, this moratorium would only apply to housing developments. The impeding statewide regulations and rules behind affordable housing are what prompted council member Marty Presley to propose a 6-month moratorium in the first place. However, it seems like the proposal may not happen now.
The council didn't feel it was in the best interest to go forward with it at this point in time. So it looks like it was voted down, and we'll have to see what takes place in the future.
People in Millsboro say the town could use a pause, and if not, construction should be going more towards an affordable housing, which is what inspired that moratorium in the first place. Now taking a live look out into Rehoboth Beach this morning, we are persisting with this cloud coverage. January seems to just be a kind of gray month, Chris.
Good morning, Grace. Yeah, even with the clouds, it feels pretty good out there. Didn't we have the clouds today? Would be really, really warm, right? Look at the water there in the bay. Looks like glass. Winds are very calm. Temperature right around 48 degrees there, and you could see we're at 47 in Lewis, 45 Bridgeville, 48 in Seaford. Now, we have been well below average, really, through all the month of December and for every day so far this year. Average high is 46. Now, we're going to be right on par for that today, but then we're going to be surging well into the 50s and 60s here over the next few days. We have a few areas of some showers, some mixed precipitation moving across the central northern portions of Pennsylvania on the northern part of that sold-out boundary. We're trying this area of low pressure. It's going to pass to our northwest late tonight, bringing a cold front. That cold front's not going to bring any precip, just a little shift in wind direction as we go into the day tomorrow, but a lot of clouds through the afternoon and into the evening, and then those clouds will eventually begin to decrease through the overnight. It's going to be another mild night. We're only going to fall into the low to mid 40s tonight. We'll talk more about when the sunshine makes a return and some rain chances down the road.
Thank you, Chris. A public forum now set for Monday, January 12th, about a proposed wind farm off the Ocean City coast. Very important to note that this forum is being organized by opponents to the U.S. wind project, and that forum begins at 5:30 p.m. at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center. Important to note that it was just last month that the Trump administration paused 5 wind farm projects off the East Coast, citing national security concerns. Not included on that list, the U.S. wind project off our coast. The Interior Department says that wind turbines create radar clutter, which can obscure legitimate moving targets and generate false targets. The Trump administration has not made clear why U.S. wind's project was not part of this announcement. The Trump White House is working to revoke Biden administration approval plans for the plans. And the Delaware River and Bay Authority announcing virtual public hearings as it considers changes to Cape May Lewis Ferry fares. A virtual public hearing is set for Monday, January 12th from 6:30 to 8. The authority says that prices update every other year, and that should help reduce costs while keeping travel affordable for families. New this morning, parking restrictions go into effect today in Milton. Milton police say parking is not allowed on Federal Street and Union Street today or tomorrow. The restrictions are going into place from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening for both a paving project. The department warns that cars left in restricted areas will get towed at the owner's expense, and police say the temporary parking limits are part of ongoing efforts to improve local infrastructure. We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. on this Tuesday morning. Today, January 6th, marks 5 years since the riot in Washington, D.C. It was on January 6, 2021, where pro-Trump rioters stormed the Capitol, demanding results of the 2020 election be overturned. They attacked officers and destroyed parts of the building. The Capitol was put on lockdown. It took several hours for it to be secured. Lawmakers evacuated the House and Senate chambers, while Vice President Mike Pence was also moved to a safe location. More than 1,000 people were charged by the Justice Department in connection with the riot. However, they were later pardoned by Trump when he again took office in 2025. Among those pardoned last year were Kevin and Hunter Seifert, the father and son duo from Laurel. The father, Kevin, was captured in an iconic and striking image from that day, carrying a Confederate flag throughout the nation's capital. Both men were convicted of multiple charges, including unlawfully entering a restricted building. They had already served their sentences before receiving their pardons. Now stay with us on CoastTV News Midday, because coming up after the break, Country Calling cools down, how new changes could impact spending in Ocean City.
We continue to thaw out here on the Delmarva Peninsula. Temperatures rising into the low 50s, pushing to the lower 60s here over the next few days as we continue this mild trend. Congratulations to William Humber of Milton, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from CoastTV. We'll talk more about the mild temperatures ahead in that full 7-day forecast.
Country Calling is cutting back in 2026, dropping from 3 days to 2 and removing those Sunday shows. Country Calling will run Friday and Saturday this October, ending the festival a day earlier than it did last year. The change could impact the number of overnight stays and the spending that typically carries into the start of the week.
It's going to be a great lineup. I will tell you that it will be first class, and you know, our hotel community, you know, we're prepared to, you know, to continue the push for keeping people here longer or coming earlier.
Town officials say the decision was made by the promoter, C3 Presents. Coming up next, taking a look at the Chris Cam. Chris Mastrobono in the CoastTV First Alert Weather Center. He's got your full forecast this week after the break.
Well, if you're not a fan of the cold weather, you're certainly going to like the weather here over the next 4 to 5 days. And had we had clear skies today, we'd be well into the low 60s, and we're already in the 50s across parts of the peninsula. Here in Cambridge, we're at 45 with those overcast skies. We're at 49, Salisbury, 49 in Laurel, 47 in Milton, and we're holding around 42 in Rehoboth Beach. Winds are relatively calm across the area, but we see that wind flow out of the south, and look at the 24-hour temperature change. We're about 12 degrees warmer in Georgetown, Salisbury, and Ocean City. Now we have the cloudy skies across the area. We have a stalled out frontal boundary off to our north. You can see some shower activity, some mixed precipitation moving through northeastern portions of Pennsylvania. This area of low pressure is going to continue pushing to the east. In doing so, we're going to see this cold front push through the area later on tonight. Temperatures are going to continue to be on the rise. Average high 46, 58 by your Wednesday, 54 Thursday, and then we surge into the mid to upper 60s by the end of the week. High today 51, Milford 53, Georgetown High of 50 in Cambridge, 51 Vienna, 55 Pocomoke City, and we'll see a high of 53 in Salisbury. So the clouds are going to be a little slow to erode through the evening and then into the overnight, expecting some potential fog to develop into early tomorrow morning. Temperatures, look at where we fall tonight. Only the lower to mid 40s, more around our average highs for this time of year. And then by tomorrow, see more of a northwest wind, but look at the temperatures. We get up into the upper 50s to lower 60s under mostly sunny skies. So there's the wind flow out of the south through the day today. As that front pushes through, we're going to see just a shift in wind direction. Not any, no precipitation expected out of this front, but those gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour through your afternoon on Wednesday. But a mostly sunny day for tomorrow. By Thursday, partly cloudy skies. Clouds arrive late in the day. Then as we get into Friday, more clouds than sun, but quite mild with a late shower chance. So that's really when our next chance of precipitation arrives Friday night, and then Saturday looks like a rather unsettled day where we could see a few rounds of rain. There's those showers late Friday night. I think most of the day is dry, and then a better chance of rain comes Saturday morning. We may see 2 rounds of rain, one in the morning to early afternoon, and then another round late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, and then we'll see clearing skies into the day on Sunday, but it does turn quite windy as we go into the day on Sunday. So the mild stretch here over the next 5 days, we peak there on Saturday at 67 degrees, and then as the front passes, we fall to 48 on Sunday. Quite windy. We're going to see gusts, I think, in excess of 40 miles an hour, and then it's back to reality there by next Monday, Grace. Mostly sunny skies and a high of 45.
Thank you, Chris. In your world news now, Pope Leo has closed the Holy Year with a strong critique of consumerism and xenophobia. Pope Leo kneeling in prayer at the Holy Door of St. Peter's. Only once before, in 1700, has a Holy Year been opened by one pope and closed by another. More than 33 million pilgrims flock to Rome for this historic moment. Next, the Corporation of Public Broadcasting's Board of Directors have voted to shut down after 58 years of service. This comes months after Congress passed spending cuts that stripped it of more than $1 billion in funding. The corporation helped support more than 1,500 local radio and television stations nationwide and funded popular programs such as Sesame Street and All Things Considered. Coming up tonight on DSN at 5:30, Seaford visits Middletown in boys basketball and catch the final score at 10:30. And on DSN Plus, you can watch that Seaford game along with these boys basketball exclusives at 4:30. Mardella faces Pocomoke. At 5:30, Decatur hosts Y-High, and also at 5:30, Cesar Rodney battling Archmere Academy. And at 6:30, Sussex Central hosts Laurel. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
I hope you're having a wonderful day so far here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4 for Coast Life, here is what's coming your way. If you didn't quite meet those real estate goals in 2026, it's okay. Take a breath. We've got the guys that can walk you through it to make sure that 2026 is your year. Also, if you're looking for a healthful and maybe healthier 2026, our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange might have just the right recipe for you as well. And if you've ever been curious about the history of shipwrecks, the history of life-saving sea rescues, well, we've got some of that and some of the tools that were used in demonstrations to show you how it all worked with our friends at the Indian River Life Saving Station. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
In Millsboro, the police department welcoming a new addition to its team. Officials proudly swearing in David Moyer as the new police chief and introducing the department's very first K-9 officer, Bandit. Welcome to the team, Bandit. And in Ocean City, police are welcoming a new four-legged officer to their department as well. PFC Devin Bartram and K-9 McKenzie have graduated from initial K-9 training. The agency says McKenzie is a 16-month-old bloodhound and the first of her kind to serve with the Ocean City Police Department. The new K-9 team officially began patrol duties on New Year's Eve. Now coming up next on CoastTV News after the break, a vaccine schedule shift. The change health officials are recommending. CoastTV News Midday returns after this. New data from the CDC this morning. Flu activity surged during the week of Christmas and is already revitalizing in last year's harsh flu season. The agency reporting flu activity was at high or very high levels in 45 states. CDC data estimates that flu is responsible for at least 11 million illnesses, 120,000 hospitalizations, and 5,000 deaths so far this season. Federal health officials have announced an overhaul of childhood vaccine schedules, now recommending fewer shots. Officials are narrowing recommendations for some vaccinations, including hepatitis A and B, to children who are broadly at higher risk for infections. As for flu, COVID-19, and rotavirus, officials recommend vaccination decisions be based on consultation with a healthcare provider.
Well, the cloudy skies are hanging with us on this Tuesday morning as we take a live look into Milford. 46 degrees with the cloud cover not going to stop us from seeing those temperatures rise near 50 degrees this afternoon, and then we'll see the clouds exit overnight. Get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert weather phone, and your exclusive 10-day forecast is up next. Well, we'll continue to deal with the cloudy skies today, but even with the clouds, we're going to be about 10 degrees warmer than we were yesterday for highs. We hit 42 yesterday in Georgetown. We're going for a high of 53 today. Clouds clear out tonight. Could see a little fog to start our Wednesday, but a mostly sunny sky. A bit on the breezy side. We'll see some wind gusts to near 30 miles an hour, but we keep it dry through Friday afternoon. Showers roll in. It looks like Friday evening, a few isolated showers are possible, but look at the temperatures. We're up to 65, even milder into Saturday. Strong cold front will bring in some windy, colder air by Sunday, and then it's back to, well, temperatures in the mid to upper 40s through early next week.
Well, we can enjoy this nice weather while it lasts, Chris. So thank you for that, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday. If you like more local news or local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us back here for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Until then, have a great day.